MCI Center, Washington, D.C., where the Wizards look for their third consecutive win against a very tough Indiana Pacer team tonight. Fans, help your parents grow old gracefully. Did you know that senior citizens in the district can receive free nutritious food? For more information, call the D.C. Department of Health Supplemental Food Program at 202-645-5518. All right, let's take a look at the Southwest Airlines starting lineups. First for the visiting Indiana Pacers with a record of 23-9. That's first place in the Central Division. 14-1 at home and 9-8 on the road. Reggie Miller and Jamal Tinsley start in the backcourt for Indiana. Tinsley at 8.2 assists per game. He's third in the NBA. And in the front court now for Indiana, Fred Jones replaces Ron Artest. This will be Jones's 10th game and the first start as a Pacer. Brad Miller's in the middle with Jermaine O'Neal. O'Neal with 14 double-doubles, 9th in the NBA. Again, Ron Artest is out of tonight's game. The Pacers are coached by Isaiah Thomas in his third season in Indiana. Your Washington Wizards have a record of 15 wins and 17 losses. They are 10-6 here at home and 5-11 on the road. For Washington, it'll be Michael Jordan and Larry Hughes. Larry Hughes with just 2 turnovers while playing with 6 assists against the Bulls Thursday night in Chicago. And in the front court for Washington, it's Gary Stackhouse with Brendan Haywood and Christian Laettner. Haywood against the Bulls had 8 points and 7 rebounds in just 18 minutes of play. He started strong, and Kwame Brown played well coming in off the bench. The head coach for the Wizards is Doug Collins, now with 52 victories in Washington, 62 defeats. His 8th season overall, and Doug is assisted by Brian James, Larry Drew, Johnny Bach, Patrick Ewing. And the Wizards trainer is Steve Stricker. All right, let's take a look at the Jim Coleman keys to the game, Phil.
Well, this team is in the top 10 in scoring. They depend a lot on their free throw shooting. They're number 3 in free throws made and attempted. They average almost 30 attempts per game. And remember the last meeting in Indiana, they were 35 for 36 from the free throw line. But this is a very deep team. Even with Ron Artest out, they've got players that can step in and get the job done. They have 5 players averaging better than 10 points a game. So that means the Wizards have to have some good production off the bench as well. We're talking about Russell, Kwame, Atan, and Lou. They all have to come in and play that kind of ball that they did in Chicago. And hustle plays will be watched carefully. We're talking about forced turnovers, offensive rebounds, second chance points. Keep in mind, the game last night against New York, they outscored the Pacers by 19 in second chance points and had 16 offensive rebounds. They ended up winning that game by outscoring them 30-17 in the fourth quarter. And I talked about turnovers too. Remember that game here, the Pacers committed a lot of turnovers. Washington had 14 steals in that game. The Pacers are 20th in the league in turnovers, averaging over 16 a game.
The officials for tonight's game are the veteran Bob Delaney with Scott Wall and Baltimore, Maryland, Sean Corbin, who went to Towson Catholic High School, the same school that produced former Bullets coach Gene Shue. This is the third of 4 meetings between the Wizards and the Pacers. Indiana won the first game on November 26, 88-84. And the second 3 days later, 100-84 in Indianapolis. They lead the all-time series 66-53. Last season, they won 3 of 4 games by 7 points and 27 points in Indiana. The Wizards won the third meeting, 109-89 in D.C., and then the Pacers won the finale by 6. But in 20 games, the Wizards have beaten the Pacers just twice. Last season on February 3rd here, as I mentioned, 109-89. And January 21st, 2000 here, 123-113. Haywood tips it up, and the Wizards control the tap. So a Pacer team that is without Ron Artest and without Jonathan Bender, who is on the injured list with a strained left calf. So a golden opportunity tonight for the Wizards to try to get a victory. Laettner takes the open jumper and rims it. Hughes there to fight for it. It goes out of bounds. They'll give it to the Wizards.
Good hustle there from Larry Larry Hughes there, forcing that ball to go off that Pacers' hand, and Washington gets another possession.
Wizards come off a 107-82 thrashing of the Bulls Thursday night in Chicago. A blowout as Michael Jordan returned to Chicago. He'll go back there in less than 3 weeks. Jordan drives, it's blocked on the way up. Laettner, beautiful save. Stackhouse for 3.
Great possession that time. Laettner coming up with the offensive rebound and then the assist over to Stackhouse. They're going to have to get some strong play from the inside players. Talking about Laettner and Brendan Haywood.
Miller drives, lays it off to O'Neal for the jumper, and that's no good. Laettner with his second rebound. At one point in the third quarter against the Bulls, Stackhouse outscored Chicago by himself 15-14 in the quarter, but ended up being outscored by the Bulls 19-15 in the period. Turnover, Indiana.
That's probably the one area of this team. They average over 16 a game. They're 20th in the league. And remember that game, the last time they played here, they committed some critical turnovers down the stretch, and Washington came very close to stealing that game.
Five seconds to shoot. Now the Wizards are in trouble. Hughes pumps one up, misses everything. 24-second violation. Pacers are 23-9, second best in the East, and tied for third overall in the NBA. Dallas is 25-5, the Nets 24-9, and Sacramento tied with the Pacers at 23-9. Jones lost it and tried to save it, but he turned it over. So Fred Jones getting his first career start, the rookie from Oregon, and just his 10th game played.
Yeah, I'm not so sure he had to save that. I thought that Laettner blocked that shot, but he tried to save it and was caught stepping out of bounds.
Wizards still lead at 3-0 on Stackhouse's three-point field goal. Now Hughes will take the open jumper and nail it. Larry Hughes, who in the last 13 games is shooting better than 54% from the floor.
Well, for the season, he's shooting above 49%. That places him in the top 20 in that field goal percentage category.
Strong move inside, follow-up is in.
Boy, this is a good two-man tandem down low. So Brad Miller and Jermaine O'Neal are players that Washington is going to have to concentrate on.
Hughes again, and he got another one. And Tinsley right in his face. Reggie Miller averaging almost 13 points a game. Now Miller shoots and misses. And the Wizards lead 8-2. Jordan guarded by Miller. Backs him in, lays it off for Laettner, and he scores.
Good body control from Laettner that time. Got a little bit of contact from O'Neal down low, but maintained his concentration and balance.
Pacers losing to the Knicks last night, 98-96. That snapped a 4-game winning streak in victories twice over New Orleans and Cleveland and Atlanta. And let's send it over to George Johnson. George?
All right, thank you very much, Buck. Well, talking to Doug Collins before today's game, he says in the first two meetings between these two teams, he saw something completely different from his club. He says in the first game, we looked great in the first half, but in the second half, we really struggled. Reggie came out, and it was lights out. In the second game, well, we played well early in the first half, but the second half, we had a good finish. He'd like to see his team put 4 quarters together to get a victory here. Back over to you.
Well, the Wizards started 1 for 5. Since then, they've made all 4 of their field goals, and they lead it by 10 with a timeout on the floor. Checking the Verizon community calendar, and once again, Abe Poland, Wizards owner and company, doing their best to help the less fortunate. Abe and the Food for Kids. 601 F Street, Northwest Washington, D.C. For info, call the Capital Area Food Bank, 202-526-5344, to see how you can help serve some of the less fortunate in the area. O'Neal's jumper no good. Wizards by 10, 12-2. Steve Buckhantz, Phil Chenier, George Johnson here. As the Wizards will look for their third straight win. Washington now 4 for 4 after missing 4 shots. Jordan's fade away.
With that 5 for 5 of their last 5 shots, they've made all of them, and they have 6 assists on 6 field goals, so they're getting some good ball movement.
Meantime, Indiana just 1 of 5 and another steal. That's the 4th turnover of the quarter for the Pacers. Michael Jordan, who had 10 points in 30 minutes tonight against Chicago with 5 rebounds and 5 assists. Now he pops a long jumper and has another one. 3-pointer, nothing but net for Jordan. And for Michael, his 10th 3-pointer of the season.
And the team's third tonight. They're 3 for 4 from 3-point range, so they're off to a great start.
Wizards by 15. Tinsley pulls up and hits a 3. Jamal Tinsley in his second year from Iowa State. Wizards have made all 6 of their last field goal attempts. Jordan drives and gets the finger roll.
Good elevation that time from Jordan, just going up over everyone and dropping it in.
7 points for Michael Jordan in the quarter. O'Neal with a double team help from Stackhouse. Now Tinsley tries again. Tipped away and taken.
That was Fred Jones that got that rebound.
Inside O'Neal. He's fouled. Score the basket. He'll go to the line. It's on Christian Laettner. His first.
Well, that was a very lucky break. Someone grabbed the net, which shook the rim. I think that had a lot to do with that ball going in. We'll see who did that. Well, it's Jermaine O'Neal that grabbed it. And you can see how that rim was shaking, just swallowed the ball up.
Al Harrington in the game. As O'Neal at the line, a 76% free throw shooter. Misses the attempt at the 3-point play, and Laettner has another rebound, his third. Michael Jordan has the last 7 Washington points. Stackhouse spinning on the fadeaway, too strong. Tinsley blocked by Jordan, and a foul is called.
Jordan's not going to like that, and I can understand that. Tinsley is the player that actually initiates the contact. Jordan just goes up with 2 hands. It was a shot easy to block because Tinsley's fading back away after the contact. Watch again. There you see him trying to make some space, jumps into Jordan. Should have been a no call.
So Tinsley to the line, and that's what Michael is saying to Bob Delaney. As Tinsley misses the first and makes the second. Tinsley averaging just over 8 points, 3.5 rebounds, but 8.2 assists. He's 3rd in the NBA and also 9th in the league in steals. Beautiful play.
Well, Tinsley stripped the ball from behind Larry Hughes that time, punched it loose, and they were able to get a 3-on-1 break and convert.
Haywood will take the baseline jumper and miss it. Here's O'Neal spinning and scoring.
Good job by Brendan that time. Make him make difficult shots. Nothing easy.
And Doug Collins wants time. So the Wizards' lead has slipped as Indiana is on a 7-0 run. And they've cut it to 19-12 with a timeout on the floor. Well, last night in New York, Latrell Sprewell hit a big shot for the Knicks down the stretch. He had 25, and then Brad Miller with a chance to win it with a 3-point field goal at the end, but he can't hit it. And afterwards, Ron Artest throws a TV monitor and breaks a camera. Today he was suspended 3 games and fined $35,000 for his actions. The $35,000 will go towards the payment to Madison Square Garden for the monitor. Haywood tips it up and in, but somebody will be responsible for the rest of the cost of that camera, which I'm told is $100,000.
I would think it would be the person that did the most damage to it.
Which would be Ron Artest. So he's
I'm not naming names. I'm just saying.
It's on the videotape. Don't lie. And he's the one that tore up the camera. So he is not with the team tonight. Al Harrington hit the last shot. Here's Stackhouse. Leitner's blocked, and the Wizards turn it over.
Well, that time, Jerry Stackhouse decided he wanted to post up Harrington. Probably should have cleared out there and let Leitner take the smaller Tinsley, who was guarding him.
Harrington has hit 2 in a row in his 5th year from St. Patrick's High School in Elizabeth, New Jersey. And a double technical foul has been called on Jermaine O'Neal and on Christian Leitner. Double technical call.
Well, going back to Harrington, here's a player that when Jermaine O'Neal was out with his injury for the 4 games, Harrington averaged over 24 points a game, including a career-high 40-point game. He was 15 for, I think, 25 in that game. Outstanding talent that, again, just shows you the depth of this Indiana team.
Jordan hits another one. Michael has 9 points in the quarter. Harrington is 3 for 3 off the bench in just 2 minutes. And Kwame Brown, who played a magnificent game in Chicago, is set to come in. Jumper no good.
I think Jordan may have gotten a piece of that from behind.
Hughes pulls up and hits again.
Well, they're doing so many things right offensively. Get back. Jermaine O'Neal never left the other side of the court. In fact, never left the basket.
Washington by 7. Hughes has 7 points. Stackhouse has 5 and Jordan 9. Leitner inside, and Sean Corbin calls a foul. And I believe it's on Al Harrington. And let's send it over to George Johnson. George?
Well, Steve, to follow up on what you were talking about when it comes to Ron Artest, talking to Isaiah Thomas, the head coach of the Pacers before the game, I asked him, I said, what would make Ron react so violently? He says, every time we play New York, that game takes us out of character. We have several kids from New York, guys like Tinsley and Harrington and Ron, who are from that city, and that game is always very big for them. As for Artest, he said he did talk to him before the game and says, listen, you cannot put yourself in a situation where you do something like that because you are at the mercy of the league and you will get screwed. Although I have to add, this is nothing new. You know, Artest has been known to be very upset at times, and even there's talk that he takes anger management classes within the team, so they know about Ron and his temper, and that wasn't that surprising. Back to you guys.
Well, he can be a very volatile guy. It was Artest who engaged Michael Jordan this summer, and Jordan resulted, the result of that was some broken ribs by Michael.
Anytime you got a guy 6'7", nearly 250 pounds, and I understand he's really worked extremely hard during this past offseason to add even more bulk and muscle.
Christian Leitner comes out. Etan Thomas is in for Washington. Leitner has 4 rebounds. He has been much more aggressive the last 4 or 5 games and really stepped up his play. Ron Mercer shoots and misses, and Stackhouse is there.
Etan also was a part of that bench crew that did extremely well in Chicago.
Michael's shot is blocked, but a foul is called, and he'll shoot 2. Fans group tickets are great for family, friends, or company outings. Gather a group of 20 or more for a Wizards game and get $5 off each ticket. For more info, call a Wizards sales rep at 202-661-5050. Tyronn Lue getting set to check into the game for Washington. Jordan missed his first 2 shots, but since then he's 4 for 4, and Michael has 10 points.
And Steve, he's shown a little extra spring in his legs. He made a nice move, drive to the basket where he elevated well. A couple of his jump shots, he got good lift on them. So he's feeling very spry today.
11 points in the game for MJ. And Washington leads by 11. Their largest lead has been 15. Tinsley knocked away by Jordan and stolen by Lou.
Jordan also has been showing even more aggressive defensive play over the last couple of games.
And he's so good at picking your pocket from behind. Stackhouse, a little bit short. Harrington puts one through. Al Harrington, who averages just under 12 points and 5.5 rebounds. First game against the Wizards, he didn't score. He missed both of his field goals and had just 2 rebounds, but he's 4 for 4 tonight off the bench. And he battles with Kwame Brown.
Good pass. Ooh. They wanted to set up that triangle, but no one released from the weak side so that they get a better angle on the entry pass. That time, a tough pass to handle, but still, Kwame could have handled that pass. If he did, he would have had an easy 2.
Instead, the Wizards turn it over and lead by 9. Harrington again. This one's off the mark. O'Neal is right there for the rebound, and he scores easily. Jermaine O'Neal, who is tied for 7th in the NBA in rebounds at 10.3 a game, has 8 points. And the lead is down to 7 from 15. Lou goes all the way, lays it for Thomas, and the Wizards turn it back over again.
Well, Lou knew going into the middle that he was going to draw attention from Jermaine O'Neal and was looking for that outlet release to John Thomas.
2 straight turnovers, and that's offensive goaltending.
Right in front of the rim. Fred Jones trying to make a spectacular play, but you cannot mess with that ball on his downward flight.
Not if it has a chance in the officials' eyes of reaching the basket, which that certainly did.
Yeah. May have even gone in. It was that close. I think it was going to catch the front of the rim, though.
$13 on the shot clock, 17 on the game clock. Thomas inside. Left-handed, gets the roll. And Jordan the steal. And he knocked it out of bounds. Great heads-up play by MJ.
Yeah, and again, that's that experience that you have and that intelligence, thinking 2 steps ahead.
And Tinsley is fouled by Lou, as the Wizards had a foul to give. Smart play by Lou.
Well, you want to make sure that you don't allow that guy to even give the impression that he's going for the shot. So you have to be careful.
Ryan Russell checks in for Michael Jordan.
Boy, good quarter for him. 11 points. Shot the ball well. Worked hard defensively.
Michael was 4 of 6 in the period. Jones lobs it in. Kwame with a steal, and that is the end of the first quarter. So the Wizards shoot 62% for the period, led by Jordan's 11, Stackhouse and Hughes with 7 apiece, and Washington led the entire period. And after 1, it's the Wizards 31 and the Pacers 22. Comcast Sportsnet coverage of Wizards basketball brought to you tonight by Toyota. Get the feeling. By the Fannie Mae Foundation, showing America a new way home. And by your Washington area Volkswagen dealers, proud sponsors of the Washington Wizards. First quarter stats.
Boy, some good shooting. Both teams shooting well above 50%. Washington doing it from 3-point range, 3 for 4. Assists and rebounds equal. 7 turnovers in that first quarter by the Pacers.
Second quarter underway from Washington. Here's Al Harrington. Played well off the bench, the fadeaway, and he's got another one. Boy, Al Harrington has just come off the bench and played tremendous so far in his 5th year out of high school.
Yeah, he's one of those high schoolers that starting to to raise some eyebrows in this league now.
2 balls that Kwame has not been able to handle, and Tyronn Lue draws the charge.
Well, it's so important for Washington's big people when they get good position inside to make sure they get a hold of that basketball and do something with it. Tyronn Lue erasing that last Wizard mistake by drawing the charge, and another turnover for the Pacers. But
the Wizards have 3 turnovers in their last 4 possessions. Stackhouse, short runner, good. 9 points in the game for Stackhouse. Michael Jordan starts the second quarter on the bench after scoring 11 points in the first quarter. Mercer off the screen, got it. Ron Mercer in his 6th year from Kentucky.
Boy, this is clearly the deepest team in the Eastern Conference. They've got a couple of teams, Dallas and Sacramento, to name a few, over in the West that have a lot of depth, but I think Indiana clearly in the Eastern Conference.
Lue has to fire and misses short. Eric Strickland in the game. He runs the break. Tipped away by Kwame, out of bounds. Jeff Foster will enter the lineup for Isaiah Thomas's squad.
Well, it's very important for Kwame to get into the flow of the game. Right now, struggling a little bit with handling some passes and getting his game going.
He was focused against Chicago. Came in from the get-go, from the plane ride up, he was ready to play. Beautiful move by Harrington, and he scores again. 12 points for Al Harrington, one of the NBA's top scorers last season, top 6th men, averaging 13 points and 6.5 rebounds before he suffered a season-ending knee injury on January 23rd against Boston. Lue, the open jumper. This one's too strong. Strickland goes all the way, and on the pass, he's fouled.
Boy, as a player, you got to make sure you don't create that convoy against your teammate.
Vance Netstar One is a world-class leader in technology services, specializing in providing IT solutions that enable government and industry to operate and communicate seamlessly. Call Netstar One at 1-800-685-8050 for more info. Stackhouse against Miller, fouled, and he'll shoot 2. And then Jerry runs over a couple of photographers and appears to be okay.
Well, that's one of those dangerous plays for a player like Reggie Miller. You're talking about possibly giving up a 3-point play. Didn't get enough of Stackhouse to really force him to miss that shot. But the turnover results in a potential fast break basket, but now Jerry gets to the line for 2 free throws.
13th in the league in free throw shooting at 87%. Makes the first. Jerry averages 22.5 points a game. That's 11th in the NBA. Larry Hughes back in, and he'll replace Kwame Brown. So Kwame not able to do much in his 5 minutes off the bench. In fact, his line is blank. And Stackhouse makes them both. He has 11 points in the game, as does Michael Jordan. Reggie Miller in 7 minutes has played, but has only taken 1 shot, and that was it. Hughes squares up, has another one. How tough has Larry Hughes been? That's a 3. Yeah. His 13th of the season.
I tell you, all you can do is just shake your head. He comes into this season shooting right around 40%, and right now shooting above 49%, and he's been a very consistent shooter all year.
Larry Hughes is 4 of 6 tonight and has 2 3-pointers. Here's Stackhouse, a little bit short. From long range. How do you like that guy?
I tell you, this guy is really feeling it.
7 for 8 from the field, Phil. He's got 15 points.
Already, yeah.
Nice play by Lou to get it to Russell, but he can't convert. Thomas is there for the rebound. Put the ball on the floor and had it stripped away.
Well, you tell players, particularly big men, not to put the ball on the floor, but sometimes that's easier said than done. If you don't feel real comfortable, you do want to gather yourself so you can power up. Unfortunately, Atan lost that ball after a tremendous offensive rebound.
Meantime, Jeff Foster scores. He'll go to the line with a chance for a three-point play. Thursday night in Chicago, Michael Jordan receives a 2-minute plus standing ovation from the Bulls fans. He has told Bulls management he did not want any special ceremony for either of his final 2 games in Chicago this past Thursday or the one coming up on the 24th of this month. The attendance for that game was 23,049. The official capacity there, 21,711. So they snuck a few more people in than they could hold, and every single one of them was standing and applauding for Michael Jordan. Not only that, but towards the end of the game when the Wizards were clearly in control and Michael was resting, about 10,000 of them were screaming, "We want Mike, we want Mike."
I mean, you understand how this love connection works. I mean, this guy brought 6 championships to that team and certainly put them on the map there.
Another Washington turnover. Mercer. Foster, who's come off the bench to play well so far. And they'll set it up. Wizards by 2 after leading by as many as 15. So the Pacers have come back. Harrington drives, lays it off underneath. Foster's tied up and blocked.
Well, he made the same mistake of time. They brought the ball down.
Boy, I don't know about that. A lot of running contact. I thought it was a block. I did not think that Strickland had position. Our singular wireless, you make the call. Well, he was moving, but he was in front of Larry Hughes, or Tyronn Lue, I should say.
Well, Larry has a tendency to try to split defenders, especially in transition, and that's what he was going for. But I think Strickland shut down that hole very quickly.
It was Hughes. Reggie off a screen, takes about 3 steps, and then nails a three-pointer. Wizards have 6 turnovers in the last 6 minutes, and the Washington trails now by 1.
And the Pacers are shooting at a tremendous pace in this quarter.
Hughes, the long jumper. Miller again.
Good job by the official not to fall for that. Reggie Miller was falling off balance before Larry Hughes even got there.
Alley-oop for Jordan inside, off the glass, good. They challenged Michael to take that over-the-shoulder pass on the alley-oop, and it worked. Huge three-pointer for Strickland.
Well, they have got to get back. They've got to start shutting this team down defensively. That's where they're going to have to get back into the flow of this thing. They got their offense going pretty well.
Jordan now double-teamed. Lou takes the jumper. That's short. Leitner battles inside, and they'll give it to Washington. Pacers have made all 5 of their three-pointers to take the lead by 2.
Well, Michael Jordan off to a terrific start. 5 for 7 from the field. Has 15 points already. I talked about the spryness in his leg. Look at the spring there. Here he shoots a three-pointer after receiving a nice pass from Leitner. And once more attacking the basket, going over Brad Miller, dropping the shot in. And he's on target to have a big night tonight. 15 points already. See the three-point out on the corner, but also getting into the paint. And Washington needs to get into the paint a little bit more. Right now, their jumpers, long jumpers, aren't falling.
Michael against the Pacers with an average of 29.9 points per game.
Well, that can be said
a lot of teams.
For most of the teams, yeah. I said he had 15 points. I stand corrected. Only 13 points.
Now he's got 15. He was just toying with you, Phil.
Well, way to make the announcers look good.
So the Wizards in the first 5 minutes ran off to a 17-2 lead. Since then, Indiana's outscored them 40-25. Harrington again, he has been unbelievable. 17 points for Al Harrington on 8 of 9 shooting. Drafted by the Pacers out of high school 5 years ago, 25th overall. Hughes streaking to the basket, and he's fouled. Will shoot 2. Called it on Eric Strickland. Here's another look.
Well, this time it's Larry Hughes that attacks the basket. There you see, gets the angle. You see that forearm of Strickland trying to nudge him out of the position. That's a foul. And Hughes gets to the line. I believe they called the foul on Strickland.
They did.
Right?
Yes, they did. Fans with Hot 5, you can play and win 25-7. That's $25,000 7 days a week. Be a part of DC Lottery's winning lineup and play Hot 5 today. Larry Hughes makes them both. At his season high of 24 at Dallas, 12 rebounds against Detroit. And Larry has 12 points here tonight in 1+ quarters. Harrington with Russell on him now. Lost it inside and got fouled. Called it on Hughes.
Well, I like what we saw from Brian Russell that time. He was not going to let him elevate, forcing him to put the ball on the floor and try and do something different. Harrington, as you mentioned moments ago, has only missed one shot, and most of those were jumpers. So now make him put the ball on the floor, do something different.
Harrington had his career high this year against Atlanta of 40 points. Strickland scores. Nice move. Pacers by 2. Wizards have had some problems with turnovers here in the first half. Jordan lost it and gets it to Russell. Bryan drives inside and an offensive foul on Russell.
Offensive foul number 2, Brian Russell. This is first personal.
We talked about the depth of this team, and you can see the bench is really mainly responsible for them coming back after Washington had a 15-point lead in the first quarter.
Hughes, nice pass, Stackhouse. Jerry can't hit. Larry is there and scores. 14 points for Larry Hughes and 4 rebounds. Brendan Haywood off the Washington bench. Tipped away. Nice defensive play by Leitner. Here's Hughes from 16.
Good decision there. Had a 3-on-2 break. Had his wings filled. The defense dropped back. He stops at the free throw line. He's got the open shot. He put it down.
16 points for Larry Hughes.
Boy, there's been an awful lot of turnovers from both teams.
Again, they force feed O'Neal. Spins on Leitner, gets the rebound, and is fouled by Brian Russell. Timeout with 2:42 to play. Second foul on Russell. Fans, check out this stat. BMW of Sterling is the #1 rated BMW retailer in customer satisfaction. A short drive from anywhere just north of Dulles Airport on Route 28. BMW of Sterling, the new BMW standard. Checking the Toyota League leaders, players averaging 20 points and 10 rebounds. And there's only 6 of them. There they are.
Welcome to tonight's game.
Jermaine O'Neal, of course, last time here had a huge effort, 26 points, a career high 21 rebounds. The first time these teams met here at MCI.
The 21 rebounds, a career high for Jermaine O'Neal in his 3rd year with the Pacers after his first 4 in Portland.
I just said that, didn't I?
I believe you did. Just checking to see if you're paying attention.
Oh, yeah.
Did you mention that he was the 17th overall pick in 1996?
Well, I had to leave something for you to say now. I'm not. This is a team effort.
Yes, it is. And the Wizards team ran off to a big lead in this one, but got to give a lot of credit to Indiana for fighting back, especially Al Harrington, who has been unbelievable.
Oh, he certainly has.
Jordan, Hughes, Stackhouse, 42 points. The rest of the team now 8.
Well, that was a 3 there.
Make it 9.
Yeah.
Wizards by 3.
Well, there's been some good shooting at both ends of the court.
Here's Reggie. And a foul on Stackhouse trying to guard O'Neal. Fans, individual tickets for all Wizards home games through the month of January are now available. To get yours, call 202-432-SEAT. Visit any Ticketmaster outlet or order online at WashingtonWizards.com. Wizards come off 2 victories. They beat the Bulls Thursday 107-82, and then they beat San Antonio here New Year's Eve 105-103. Which was a gigantic victory. Washington 15-17 on the year. This time last year they were 18-14. And O'Neal gets 1 of 2. Two minutes to play in the second quarter. Jordan shoots and misses. Brad Miller, Mercer's jumper, and O'Neal with a loose ball foul as he pushed Russell to the ground.
Russell did an excellent job of trying to front him and then hustling around and making sure he boxed out. Jermaine got a little overzealous that time and decided to give Russell a little bit of a shove here. You see Brendan also hustling for the inside position there, the shove from Jermaine.
Wizards shooting 54% from the field. Quite a difference between this and the previous 2 games this year. As an offensive foul is called on Washington, the Wizards have shot just 39% from the field and 21% from three-point range in 2 games against the Pacers so far this season.
Yeah, so, but shooting percentage, very important for the team's success. When they have shot 50% or better, this team is 7-1. Of course, they shot above 50% in the game last night against Chicago.
Thursday night. Here's Miller. Baseline blocked by Haywood. And Brandon Haywood, who's 27th in the league in block shots, gets about 1.5 a game.
Boy, you really need that inside presence. Get some help. You had him being guarded, Miller being guarded by Stackhouse, but your big man comes over to help you out and erase any mistakes.
Bobby Simmons checks into the Wizards lineup, replacing Jerry Stackhouse. O'Neal wide open from 14, and he drains it. 13 points for Jermaine O'Neal, and we're tied at 51 with a minute to go in the half. Bobby will fire and hit.
Good confidence. His defender, Ron Mercer, decided to drop off. actually disrespecting Bobby Simmons. Bobby says, I'll take that shot.
And we've seen last season that Bobby Simmons is capable of hitting the shots. Foul was on Simmons. And now Reggie Miller will go to the line.
Where's that last shot by Bobby Simmons? You see how far back actually it's Reggie Miller that's dropping off of him to help out and just conceding the outside shot to Simmons.
Reggie Miller makes the first free throw, now 66 of 74 on the season. He's 6th in the league, making 89% of his shots from the line. Tied once again at 53. Jordan working hard to get open. And lost the ball, gets it back.
Still got plenty of time.
Double team, he swings it to Lou. Lou's jumper, no good. Chased down by Simmons. And Bobby lost the ball. Jumper. Wizards with 1 second. This is good if it goes. And it doesn't. So the Wizards, after building a 15-point lead, shoot 53%. Hughes at 16, MJ 15, Stackhouse at 11. And a big half for Al Harrington, 17 points off the bench, missing just 1 shot in 9 attempts. And the Wizards and the Pacers are tied at 53. And let's send you over to George Johnson. George?
All right, thank you very much, Buck. Well, you got a nice little tie going on with a club that has beaten you twice already this year. What do you think has been the key with staying with this team here in the third meeting?
Well, we played them pretty well first half. You know, it's coming out in the second half and getting the job done. And we had them down in Indiana, and they came back on the run and got us. The second half's going to be key.
Doug has talked a lot about keeping your poise and knowing that this club likes to run up and down. Do you think you can keep this pace in the second half, or do you think you have to slow things down a little bit and bring them back to your tempo?
No, we want to keep moving. You know, we want to just get stops on the other end. We want to continue to play our game, you know, get fast break points, and, you know, let our defense hold, you know, at the end.
All right, good luck to you second half.
Thank you.
All right, let's send it back over to Buck.
Halftime in Washington, and the Wizards and the Pacers are tied as the Wizards look for their 3rd consecutive win. And now we send you back to our Comcast Sportsnet studios in Bethesda and join Russ Taylor. Russ? Indiana 53. As the Wizards look for a victory here at home. The Pacers led by Harrington with 17, O'Neal 13, Miller 8, Strickland 5, and Jamal Tinsley 4. Larry Hughes leads the Wizards with 16, MJ 15, Stackhouse 11, Russell 3, and Leitner 2.
Well, Washington has to do a better job defensively. This team, the Pacers, shot 55% in the first half. They've got to cut that number down significantly. They also shot 12 three-pointers, and I know that's not something that Doug is crazy about. They were 3 for 4 in the first half, but then took 7 attempts in the second.
Jones and a blocking foul called on Washington. It's on Christian Leitner. And on Leitner, his 3rd personal.
And one other thing, I'm sure they'd like to get a few more points inside, particularly with their big men. Leitner only had 2 points in the first half. Haywood, 2 points in the first half. Kwame Brown was scoreless. They've got to get their big people active and involved in the offensive side.
That is the first free throw of the season for Fred Jones, rookie from Oregon. This is just his 10th game played. He got the start tonight for Ron Artest, who has been suspended by the league, 3 games and $35,000 for throwing a TV monitor last night after the loss in New York, and then breaking a camera owned by Madison Square Garden Network. Foul is called on Fred Jones, and let's check in with George Johnson. George?
Well, Buck, talking to Larry Drew right before the start of the second half, I asked him, I said, what about this game? It seems like everything was going for the Wizards early on. He said, yeah, we were hitting our shots, but then in the second quarter, we weren't hitting the shots, and they've caught us on the back of our heels. What we have to do is become the aggressor in this basketball game, which is what we'll try to do in the second half. I said, what about stopping Al Harrington? He said, that is a tough thing, but watch for Brian Russell to pick him up defensively a little bit more as the game plays on. Back to you.
Instead, the Wizards commit their 13th turnover, while Indiana just commits their 11th. Leitner trying to drive inside, throws up a jumper, and can't get the roll. Hughes is there for the rebound.
Well, Brendan Hayward was the player that kept that ball alive, and Larry Hughes gets credit for the offensive rebound. 5
boards for Hughes. Lazy pass, and it's stolen by Tinsley, who goes to Miller. That's knocked away by Hughes. Taken inside by Brad Miller, and he scores easily. Wizards careless with the basketball to start the third quarter. Jordan gets it back, shoots again, and misses. Reggie on the fadeaway.
Well, Brad Miller had Christian Leitner an alarm lock.
Offensive foul will be called on O'Neal using the right elbow. Take a look at our Geico Direct League standings, and the Pacers are right there with 9 road wins on the season. Dallas has 10, Portland and Seattle, or Dallas has 11, Portland and Seattle have 10. Wizards just 5 and 11 on the road. Here's Leitner on the baseline jumper, no good. Miller open for the jumper, got it. 3-pointer for Reggie Miller. And as Phil mentioned, they jacked up 12 of them in the first half and hit 5. Reggie is now 3 of 4 from three-point range, has 11 points in the game. And the Pacers have their largest lead of 6. Hughes, good move inside, and hanging jumper.
Well, you can either drop it in to Leitner being guarded by the smaller guard, or you can use your quickness. That's what Larry Hughes decided to do. Got around Jermaine O'Neal easily, even got around Brad Miller.
That was the first field goal of the quarter for Washington as Fred Jones answers. Wizards also have 2 turnovers, and Doug Collins wants a timeout. 7-point Pacer lead. The Wizards have scored just 2 points since the start of the third quarter. Fans, did you know that consuming too many soft drinks can cause tooth decay? Drink them in moderation. Then afterwards, rinse your mouth with water and get regular checkups and brush and floss twice a day. For more information, call your family dentist or the D.C. Department of Health. 202-442-9348. Steve Buckhantz, Phil Chenier, George Jobson from the MCI Center, where the Wizards, after leading by 15 in the first quarter, have seen that slip away and now trail the Pacers by 7.
Washington has to do a better job defensively. Take a look at this last play. Here's Fred Jones. He's going to circle all the way around to the other side. He's going to get a staggered pick, but also you're going to see the Wizard defense get sucked in. Excuse me, that was Reggie. There's Fred Jones, but still spotting up from the 3-point range.
Back to live action, a beautiful reverse layup by Larry Hughes. And the Wizards have just their second field goal of the third quarter. 20 points in the game for Larry Hughes. O'Neal missed it, tip up, no good. And Indiana comes away with it. Jones will kick it out, and they'll reset. O'Neal, and another offensive foul to be called on Jermaine O'Neal.
He really has a tendency to dip that shoulder, and that's where he's getting called for the whistle. Had he not done that, I'm pretty sure that Brendan Hayward was going to give the foul. Watch that right shoulder dip in there. Gets Hayward back on his heels. That's another turnover.
Charles Oakley in the game for Washington. Oakley in just his 17th game played this season. Good defense by the Pacers. 4 seconds to shoot. Jordan off balance, misses. Hughes is there for the short jumper, no good, and he got fouled. Another rebound for Larry Hughes, his 6th of the evening.
And he's had quite a few on the offensive board, 3 of them, in fact. Well, Jordan trying to get to the middle. They do a good job of closing down that hole, but the long bounce, Larry Hughes not being boxed out, gets the offensive rebound. Brad Miller comes across the forearm.
First free throw missed by the Wizards tonight. Washington now 6 of 7 from the line. And Hughes 2 of 3. Harrington back in the game. Without him, they're -7. With him, they're +12. He almost single-handedly helped lead Indiana back and get into this game again, and now they lead by 4. O'Neal again working on Haywood. Short jumper, missed it. Michael couldn't find it.
Over the back. Oh.
And Hughes has it. Hughes going all the way and lays it up and follows. Slam by Haywood. It won't count. They'll say it won't count.
And that's a good call. That ball was just hanging on that rim. I'm sure Haywood was expecting it to drop off, but it never did because of the English that he put on it.
Well, Doug Collins is off the bench. He wants to know why Larry Hughes wasn't fouled here.
Well, there I mentioned before, you can see the ball hanging on the rim there, but he likes to split the defense. And there the ball just won't drop off or in.
Tinsley long jumper. Pacers by 4. Stackhouse streaking, gets some separation and scores. 13 points for Stackhouse. Boy, they are just force-feeding O'Neal, and so far it hasn't worked.
Well, they're trying to attack Haywood and possibly get him into some foul trouble.
Instead, O'Neal's picked up 2 offensive fouls. Oakley tips it away. Hughes lays it off for Oakley. Hughes for 3. Haywood, nice job. He got fouled.
Good hustle. Good effort, and the fans react. Good fans know good basketball and good effort when they see it. They get the loose ball. The 3 by Larry is not good, but they're back at it. Good effort by Haywood on the boards.
First free throws of the night for Haywood, who makes it. He was 4 of 6 against Chicago and has been shooting well from the line. And let's send you over to George Johnson.
You know, real quickly, Buck, just wanted to say that before the game, Doug Collins talked about Brendan Haywood and talked about the fact that the guy continues to get stronger and stronger. But what he would like to see is exactly what you just saw. Getting inside, getting physical, and going up strong with the basket. He says he's noticed him lately getting a little bit too finesse inside, and he said he will not get the calls if he goes up strong. That will produce calls for him and get him to the free throw line. Back to you.
Yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about. You get inside, you want to make that power move. And a couple times, Brendan is guilty of trying to finesse the shot. But Jordan, again, getting inside in good possessions. Washington coming up with loose balls and getting second chance opportunities. Remember, I told you in the game last night against the Knicks, Indiana was outscored 25-9 in second chance points.
It was Jordan just a moment ago who kept the missed free throw rebound alive off the Haywood miss and enabled Larry Hughes to come over the timeline and snag it. Michael with 16 points and has made all 4 of his free throws. 6 of 12 from the field, 3 rebounds and an assist in 26 minutes of play. Wizards on an 8-0 run, and O'Neal this time draws a foul. Washington's outscored the Pacers 8-0 in the last 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Well, that foul will send O'Neal to the line, but one of the things you've got to give a player like Reggie Miller credit for. He is so effective in moving without the ball. And even though he, in this situation, didn't get the shot, he certainly was a player responsible for getting O'Neal open.
Wizards have outscored the Pacers 6-0 since Charles Oakley came into the game. Fans, Mercedes-Benz of Annapolis is the place to go for both new and pre-owned Mercedes-Benz. Located in the heart of Annapolis, a short drive from both Washington and Baltimore. Tell them Phil Chenier sent you. Jermaine O'Neal led the team in scoring last year at 19 points a game, 10.5 rebounds, which was 7th in the league, and 2.3 blocks. He went to Eau Claire High School in Columbia, South Carolina. And once blocked 16 shots in a high school game.
Played in the All-Star game last year, and looks like he should be headed for his second All-Star game.
Game tied at 63. Wizards have come back from 7 down. Oakley, well, I thought he had a lane for a moment. Jordan works free and hits. 19 points for Michael Jordan, whose season high is 33 against Memphis.
Jordan recognizing that time the effort of Oakley on offense. He was the one that got him the ball.
Blocked by Jordan, and a foul will be called on Michael.
Still like this effort from Jordan. He has been so aggressive on the defensive end. Gets a little body contact, but he's aggressively going to go for that block shot to help his teammate Brendan Haywood. He gets a lot of ball, but he does get a little body too.
O'Neal shoots 76% from the line. At his season high of 30 at Milwaukee. And as we mentioned a while ago, 21 rebounds against the Wizards on November 26th. That was his career high. NBA's most improved player last season. Again tied at 65 as the Wizards look for their 3rd consecutive victory after beating the Spurs here New Year's Eve and Chicago Thursday at the United Center. Nice move by Stackhouse.
That was a nice move. You talk about attacking the basket, going after it fearlessly. That's just what you saw from Stackhouse.
15 points for Jerry Stackhouse. Miller off a screen. Tinsley misses short, and Haywood is there. 6 rebounds for Brendan Haywood. Well, Hughes almost lost it. Gets it back, and is blocked by O'Neal.
Boy, if he could have dropped that one off to Haywood. Good hustle. Stay with the play.
Jordan slips, gets it to Haywood, who slams it in. Jordan off his rear end, assisted on the play.
Well, like I said, stay with the play. You have to improvise sometimes.
Wizards by 4. Sellout crowd, and they love it. Reggie. Mercer will try, and he misses. See the scoring run in the last 5 minutes and 10 seconds. 14-3 Wizards. Stackhouse is bumped by Mercer, no shot. And the foul will be on Ron Mercer. 2 minutes, 58 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter, and this has been a wild affair. Michael Jordan hustling all over the court. Wizards lead it by 4. Fans with 4MATIC all-wheel drive anytime is a good time to take a ride through the neighborhood. 4MATIC is now available in the C Sedan, C Wagon, and S-Class models. It's the difference between taking a drive and going for a spin. 4MATIC all-wheel drive. Control unlike any other. Stop by one of your Washington area Mercedes-Benz dealers to test drive a 4MATIC today.
Well, I said Washington had to pick up the pace defensively. That's just what they've done the last 5 minutes, 57 seconds. The Pacers are 0 for 8 from the field. Washington 5 for 9. They've outscored them 16-12 so far this quarter. But most important, they've started to cool down this hot shooting team that shot 55% in the first half.
Wizards from the free throw line now 10 of 13 as Stackhouse misses the first and makes the second. The Pacers had a 4-game winning streak snapped by the Knicks last night. It was the second longest current streak in the league. The Nets had won 7 in a row and extended it to 8 in a row last night. Mercer dumps it off O'Neal. He's fouled and he'll go to the line again. It's on Brendan Haywood.
Well, that's only Brendan's first foul, so he's done a good job staying out of foul trouble. And he has to slide over to help on Mercer. Mercer drops it off to O'Neal, and he's a little upset that he didn't get that ball to go down.
Remains 6 of 9 from the free throw line tonight. Vance BEA Government Systems is the supplier of enterprise architecture platforms to nearly every civilian intelligence and military agency in the federal government. Let BEA improve your efficiency and responsiveness. Call BEA Government Systems at 571-382-2400. O'Neal makes both free throws, the only Pacer to score in the last 6 minutes. And he's got 5 free throws in that span. Wizards by 3, 70-67. Jordan checks the clock and is fouled by Fred Jones.
Pacers are out of fouls, so Washington will be shooting. And that'll send Jordan to the line.
Third personal on Fred Jones, the rookie from Oregon. Was the 14th overall pick by the Pacers in the draft, and Michael Jordan goes to the line. Makes the first. Fans, when attending the next Wizards home game, make sure you vote for your favorite Wizard All-Stars. This year, both MJ and Jerry Stackhouse are representing the Wizards on the All-Star ballot. So make sure and fill out your ballot. Send both of them to the All-Star game in Atlanta. 21 points in the game for Michael Jordan. Wizards by 5. Harrington, fade away on Oakley, pretty shot. Al Harrington, 19 points.
He looks like he's trying to pick up right where he left off in the first half. Only missed 1 shot, 8 for 9.
Scored 17 first half points. That's his first field goal here in the second. Jordan wants to take it on one-on-one against Harrington. Had it knocked away. Michael had it knocked away twice. Goes to the floor and a 24-second violation on Washington. And now what's Sean Corbin saying to Bob Delaney?
We're going to put 1 second on the shot clock.
And give the ball to Washington. Great defense by Harrington. Outstanding. Haywood takes the shot. Almost got it off the glass. Wizards lead is back to 3. 1:33 to go, third quarter. Will fire. How about that?
Charles Oakley. You love seeing somebody like O'Neal get the shot and put it down, because he does so much to try and help his teammates get shots off by setting picks and doing other things.
O'Neal is fouled again. It's on Brendan Haywood, but he doesn't make the layup, so O'Neal goes back to the free throw line to shoot 2. Since Charles Oakley came into this game, the Wizards have outscored the Pacers 17-7. Tyronn Lue off the Washington bench. He'll check in. And O'Neal 8 of 11 from the free throw line. Points in the game for Jermaine O'Neal, and Michael Jordan comes out. Jordan has 21 points in 31 minutes on 7 of 13 shooting. He's made all 6 of his free throws, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. O'Neal will get another. Averages 20 points a game. That's 25th in the league. As we talked about before, he turned 24 years old in October. So a guy out of high school already has 7 years of experience and is just 24 years old. 20 points in the game for O'Neal. Pacers picking up the pace on defense a little bit. Hughes inside, hanging jumper, tip up, no good. Harrington wide open. His shooting tonight has been nothing short of spectacular. He's missed 1 shot in 11 attempts.
Yeah, I don't think any of them have been any closer than 3 or 4 feet. I think all of them have been jump shots.
Fred Jones doing a nice job on Jerry Stackhouse, blanketing the former Carolina star. Open for that jumper, and he missed it. And Jones gets the rebound. Ouch! Eric Strickland drills a three-pointer, and the Pacers are back on top by 2. Lue at the buzzer. Nearly got it.
Would have counted.
Well, the Wizards saw a 5-point lead slip away, and the Pacers go on a 7-0 run to end the period. O'Neal 20 points in the game, 6 rebounds, and after 3, it's Indiana 76, Washington 74. Comcast Sportsnet coverage of Wizards basketball being brought to you tonight by Southwest Airlines, bringing people together with low fares. By your Washington, D.C. area Mercedes-Benz dealers. And by Dodge. Get somewhere. Grab life by the horns. Dodge. We start fourth quarter action here in Washington. Steve Buckhantz, Phil Chenier, George Johnson, our entire Comcast Sportsnet crew. As the Wizards saw a 7-point lead get away. Lue's shot is blocked by Jamal Tinsley. And an inauspicious beginning to the fourth quarter for the Wizards. Pacers by 2. Jermaine O'Neal backs in on Haywood. Fadeaway jumper. Missed it.
I'll tell you, Haywood has been making things difficult for Jermaine O'Neal tonight.
Wizards need some firepower. Stackhouse knocked to the floor. Ball comes loose. The Wizards turn it over. Harrington has another.
Well, he's just not doing anything wrong.
23 points for Al Harrington on 11 of 12 shooting. Jordan baseline. Michael inside, lays it off for Haywood. He's held, and he's got to get 2 shots out of that. All right, let's check these statistics through 3 quarters of play here tonight.
Well, in that third quarter, both teams shooting 35%, so they're under 50% shooting. But look what Indiana's doing from three-point range, 8 for 11. Everything else pretty equal. Washington has a slight advantage on the boards.
Well, they will not give Haywood 2 shots. Even though he was attempting to get to the basket and being held by Eric Strickland. He would have had an easy slam dunk off the pass.
But again, he's got to make a quicker move once his man leaves him in going towards that basket. He was a little hesitant in moving towards the basket.
Pacers by 6. 7 is their largest. Stackhouse short jumper, no good. Ball stolen away by Lou. Nice pass. Haywood inside. He's fouled. And will shoot 2. Great ball movement.
Excellent ball movement. Boy, I tell you, he better have caught that one. Jordan making a nice bounce pass. The blind look. Look how quickly they moved this ball around to the middle, down low, bounce pass to the other side. The defense constantly one step behind.
Brendan Haywood 1 of 2 from the free throw line tonight.
One more look at that last foul. O'Neal coming over the body.
Wizards as a team now just 13 of 17 from the free throw line, 76.5%. And Brendan gets 1 of 2. Swing it. Three-pointer. Let's see if it counts. It will not. A 3-second violation called on Indiana.
I think they got that on Jermaine O'Neal. Yeah, they said 7.
Tinsley hit the 3, but it didn't count, and that's a big break for Washington. Pacers by 3. Jordan is held and fouled by Eric Strickland. In his 7th year from Nebraska. 4th personal on Strickland. Brad Miller comes in for Jermaine O'Neal. Miller in his 5th year from Purdue. Averages 14.5 points and almost 8.5 rebounds a game. Hughes, hanging jumper, just missed it, a little strong. Strickland is pushed and fouled by Brendan Haywood. That should be his 3rd. And it is Pacer ball on the side. Miller open from 18 feet. Great job by Jordan to knock that ball away from Fred Jones. Hughes the jumper, no good. Swing it to Strickland for 3, missed it left. Pacers are playing without Artest, without Jonathan Bender, and right now without Reggie Miller in the game. He's been curiously quiet. Jordan double team. Go back to MJ. Fadeaway jumper, good.
I'll tell you, he and Strickland really banging down low. Jordan trying to establish position, and Strickland trying to deny.
23 points for Jordan.
8-second count. It's a turnover.
Timeout with 8:07 to go in regulation. And the Wizards with a chance to regain the lead when we come back.
Watch how the Wizards advance the ball after the turnover down low. Oakley has the ball, gets it down to Lou. Good passing. Frees it right there. Lou gets the ball to Jordan. Jordan gets the ball over to Haywood between the two defenders. Doesn't get the shot, but he does get the foul call. And MJ always alert, always knowing he's aware of the 8-second count, the last turnover by the Pacers. Washington has the ball and it has a chance to go up, back up, take the lead.
See Michael say 8 seconds, which is the new time to get it over the timeline this year. And in almost 4 minutes of play, each team has just one field goal. The Pacers are 1 for 4. That was an Al Harrington basket. And the Wizards are 1 for 7. An MJ basket and a Brendan Haywood free throw. So both teams are frigid here in the fourth quarter.
Well, defense is going to take over now.
Tinsley. MJ is there with Oakley. Once again, the Wizards with an opportunity to regain the lead, trailing by 1. Jordan fadeaway. How about that? 25 points for MJ. And the Wizards lead by 1. Harrington's jumper. Finally, just his second miss of the night. Collins off the bench screaming offensive instructions. Lou, the short runner, he got hit with no call, and Hughes steals it away. Jordan again, lays it off Haywood in the lane, and it's taken away, but they get it back. 2 seconds to shoot. Oakley, and they're not going to get it off. 24-second violation.
Yeah, Pacers never gain possession of that ball. Therefore, you cannot reset the 24-second shot clock.
Great Indiana defense. A look at our Dodge game summary. The Wizards jumped out to a 15-point lead to start the game, but then Harrington and O'Neal took over, and Washington has hit 5 3-pointers, but the Pacers 8 of 12 from long range.
Yeah, look how many Washington shot. 16. Their high for the year is 17, so they've taken a lot of 3-pointers.
Wizards by 1 with 6:11 to play in regulation as Washington looks for their first win against the Pacers in 3 games this season. Fadeaway, no good. Hughes for Jordan. Michael streaking off the glass, and a blocking foul is called, and MJ will shoot 2. Timeout. 5:59 to play in regulation. Wizards by 1 with 2 free throws when we come back.
Welcome back to the MCI Center. A 1-point lead for the Washington Wizards. Joining me right now are my co-hosts for our post-game show, Bernie Bickerstaff, Glenn Consor. Bernie, when you think about this team, I mean, we know that Indiana has so much depth on this team. Who do they have to stop, the Wizards, if they want to secure this victory?
Well, I think they've got to do a good job on Harrington. And the one thing that frightens me, Miller has just come back into the basketball game, so you really got to contend with him.
Yeah, you talk about that low post game, but the Wizards have done a pretty good job defensively low post.
Well, they certainly have. I think Haywood's done a phenomenal job on O'Neal, collapsing on him, fronting him, making him rush his shots, and I think that was the key to this game so far.
Glenn Consor, Bernie Bickerstaff, I'm George Johnson. Again, after the show, we bring you our Guaranteed Residential Lending Wizards post-game live. Back over to you, Buck.
Michael Jordan, his first miss from the free throw line tonight. Now 7 of 8 from the line. The Pacers opened the quarter with a Harrington fast break basket 1 minute into the period, and they led 78-74. They are scoreless in the last 5 minutes, and the Wizards have outscored them 6-0. However, free throws will be coming for Brad Miller.
Well, that time Brad Miller curled off a pick, and he had one thing in mind, and that was to go to the basket. I would have liked to have seen Haywood maybe challenge this shot. He had enough time to get around in front and even go for the block. but decided to give up the foul and send Miller to the line.
Miller, an 80% free throw shooter. He said, quote, "I'm slower and smarter. I'm not going to jump over everybody, so I just have to outwork them and outthink them. I'm slow and patient. Everyone's so fast in this league, it throws them off to go a little slower."
But you know, there's something true about that. You find players that are super quick if they just have that one speed. A lot of times people will get into a rhythm with them and anticipate. But if you change your speed, a lot of times it's more difficult to stay up with.
Game tied at 80. Stackhouse, Haywood, Hughes, Jordan, and Oakley for the Wizards. Reggie Miller back in the game. As Bernie Bickerstaff alluded to, Michael Jordan for three. His second three-pointer of the night, and he's got 29 on the evening. Wizards by three. What a big basket. Harrington spinning inside, and he's fouled again by Haywood.
Yeah, that's just a tough matchup for Brendan. This guy Harrington not only is on top of his game tonight, but he's got a lot of movement, give you a lot of spin moves, and very difficult for Haywood to stay up with.
Brendan has been challenged all night by Haywood and Jermaine O'Neal and played pretty well. He's got 5 personals, and Harrington at the free throw line is good. Harrington, a 74% shooter. In 20 games against the Pacers, the last 20, the Wizards have won just twice. One time last year here, and one time in January of 2000 here as well. Their last win in Indianapolis was April 1st, 1997. Washington trying to work for a good shot. Jordan lays it underneath, and it's stolen away.
You can see Indiana went into their zone and just packed the middle there.
Harrington, 14-footer, no good. O'Neal slapped away underneath and fouled by Oakley.
Number 34, Charles Oakley's second personal foul, team's 4th.
Now, first of all, Jordan had Jermaine boxed out, but Jermaine had some contact on the back, and once he got the rebound, you saw Oakley and Jordan jamming him and trying to come up with the steal.
Wizards cling to a 1-point lead. Here's Miller for Tinsley. Tinsley slashing. Harrington, what a move! How do you like that? He has been spectacular. 27 points for Al Harrington. Michael Jordan has the last 8 points for Washington, but the Pacers have regained the lead. Lakers back in. Here's MJ again. Got another one. 3-pointer, his 3rd of the game. 32 points for Jordan, a point away from matching his season high. Knocked away by Oakley. Clean steal.
Well, Jermaine O'Neal really trying to take Laettner underneath the basket there.
Hughes, boy, they got Stackhouse on the wing and nobody can find him. Oakley's jumper, got it!
Well, Oakley's hit 2 critical baskets in this quarter.
Isaiah Thomas wants time, and the fans are on their feet in the phone booth. Washington on a 14-4 run to take a 4-point lead with 3:35 to play in regulation. Comcast Sportsnet coverage of Wizards basketball has been brought to you tonight by Southwest Airlines, bringing people together with low fares. By Jim Coleman's Montgomery Mall Toyota. Remember, nobody beats a Jim Coleman deal. By the great taste of Michelob Light, making any occasion seem special. Netstar One, your high-performance communication solutions company. And by your Washington area Volkswagen dealers, proud sponsors of the Washington Wizards. Well, as irony would have it, Michael Jordan went 3 for 3 from three-point range against the Pacers on November 26th. He's 3 for 3 from them tonight as well. Harrington looked like he took a punch, blocked inside, picked up by O'Neal, and he's fouled, and he scores. And that's the way the ball bounces.
Yeah, Harrington made a move across the middle, and you thought he was going to be right here. Boy, he took another step, still moved his feet. Should have gotten called for a travel, but Jermaine O'Neal comes up with the missed shot.
So the Wizards' 4-point lead is down to 2. And he missed it. Oakley has done a marvelous job since coming into this game. Has played 17 minutes, has 4 rebounds and 3 assists and 2 big field goals. Stackhouse has been quiet in this period. Finds Leitner. Leitner fires the jumper, missed it. Here comes Jordan to help. Tinsley's open for the jumper. He hits a 3-pointer, and that hurts. Pacers by 1. Jordan had to slough off to help out, and it left Tinsley wide open. Michael streaking baseline. Snaps it in. No foul. No foul called. Jordan with a season-high 34 points.
I told you he had a little extra juice in those legs today.
Washington by 1. Here's Miller. O'Neal. Harrington. Jumper. Oh, my goodness. He has been unbelievable. 29 points for Al Harrington. And Doug Collins looking for a time, but Hughes didn't see it. And a timeout, Washington. Hughes was the only player that went down the court. The rest of his teammates were walking to the bench. Now Doug Collins is imploring the officials to check the shot clock. Folks, here's what is upcoming for the Wizards. They'll get on a plane tomorrow, travel to Boston to take on the Celtics Monday night at the Fleet Center. Wednesday night, return home to face the Chicago Bulls, a team they beat Thursday night in Chicago. And Friday night, hosting the Golden State Warriors here at the MCI Center. We take a look at the Sun Microsystems upcoming games. And all 3 games here on Comcast Sportsnet. Monday night at Boston. Wednesday night here against Chicago. Friday night against Golden State. This has been one hard-fought basketball game. Both teams capitalizing on opportunities. Michael Jordan with a season-high 34 points, including 13 in the last 6 minutes and 20 seconds.
How about that last 2, the dunk?
Yeah, and I thought he was fouled. He has 13 of the Wizards' 16 points this period. Jordan, who will be 40 years old on February 17th, is playing a magnificent game. Wizards down by 1. Oakley. Jordan, they slough off for the double team. Now he tries the lane and is fouled.
You knew Harrington was going to go after him. I think he has a little extra adrenaline when it comes to going against Jordan. And Jordan wisely took it all the way to the rack and made sure he got some contact. I don't know if they called that on O'Neal or Harrington.
I think it was on O'Neal, and that's his 4th personal. Michael, you see 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Ouch. 35 points for Jordan. Reggie Miller tonight has 11 points on 3 of 6 shooting. O'Neal, Jordan helps out, leaves Tinsley open, and he scores. They have done a great job of finding the open man.
Now this is a team that averages over 25 assists a game. They do a good job of moving the ball around, and that's why they have 5 players that average in double figures.
Jordan fadeaway, got another one. 37 for his airness. 16 in the quarter.
But they have to get a stop.
Listen to this crowd. Good block. Christian Laettner with an outstanding block on O'Neal.
He got it from behind.
Isaiah Thomas takes a timeout. Fans on their feet. Tremendous ball game in Washington. And with 32.6 seconds to play, we are tied at 93.
Watch Laettner get this block from behind. Knows that Jermaine was going to dip that ball a little bit behind his head. He's right there, stays away from the body contact, and got the clean block.
Well, remember back to November 26th when Juan Dixon came into the game and nearly got a Wizards victory. Dixon with 6 steals in the 4th quarter, and he sparked this Wizards club. Unfortunately, Washington was unable to win the game, losing 88-84, but Juan Dixon on the Department of Health injury report with a sprained elbow, but he's working his way back into playing shape.
I understand we're looking at maybe another week to get him back in the lineup, but that was a tremendous game and effort on his part. And you saw the 6 steals. The team had 14 steals. That's a season high for them. And once again, they are coming up with steals. They have 12 steals tonight.
You see MJ by the quarter, 11 in the first, 4 in the second, 6 in the third, 16 here in the fourth. He has 16 of the Wizards' 19 points this period.
Well, you can't deny that at times he can still carry a team.
Another sellout crowd. They sold out all of their home games this year.
5 seconds of defense.
O'Neal slaps, shoots. Oh, what a shot! Big basket by Jermaine O'Neal. And Doug Collins wants time. 24 points in the game for Jermaine O'Neal. None bigger than that field goal.
Well, they've made it difficult on Jermaine all night long. He's shot some difficult shots. This was a difficult shot. Shoots the fadeaway. You see the pressure there coming from Laettner on the shooting side, but he still is able to get the shot to go down. That's just a difficult shot. Defensively, if a guy makes a shot like that, you got to accept it.
In fact, Doug Collins clapping his hands after the basket and said, good defense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now it's time to concentrate at the other end, get your execution down, make sure you get the shot you want, and put it away.
Jerry Stackhouse has been very quiet, has taken just 1 shot this quarter and missed it. He's 6 of 13 from the field and has 16 points.
Yeah, but I think I'm sure he understands Jordan is fuming hot, and you gotta go to the hot hand, and that's all they're doing. They're milking Jordan for everything he's got.
MJ has a season-high 37. Larry Hughes has 21, and Stackhouse has 16. And let's check in with George Johnson. George?
Well, Buck, Doug wants Jerry Stackhouse, obviously, to get wide open, but Michael Jordan will receive a screen from Christian Laettner. Larry Hughes, who inbounds it, will then go down and pick for Jerry Stackhouse. They'll both be around the foul line area. It'll be Mike's opportunity first to do what he can do. If he can't find anything, look for him to get to Jerry Stackhouse. Back to you.
Now, Jordan has Harrington on him, and Harrington has presented some problems defensively.
Jordan races inside, lays it off for Hughes. Lost the ball, got it back. Still plenty of time. Hughes penetrates.
Nice move. Nice move.
Thomas wants time. Heads-up play from start to finish by Larry Hughes.
Well, first of all, just coming up with that loose ball, but then he made an excellent one-on-one move to slice in front of the defender, took him out of the play, and then had to go against one of the big men of Indiana down low. Larry Hughes has been really showing some offensive play. There you see him get around Tinsley. Watch him right there. He turns the corner. He's gone to the basket there. Oh, that's Oakley that kind of nudges Jermaine O'Neal out of the way to take him out of the area of blocking the shot. It's heads-up play by another veteran. Again, those little things that Charles Oakley can do to help a team and help his teammates.
Larry Hughes is 1 point shy of matching his season high of 24. He also has 7 rebounds and 5 assists. There are 14 and 4/10 seconds remaining in regulation. The Wizards have not played in an overtime game this year.
Yeah, and this is what it comes down to. We talked about the team's record against teams with 500 or better record. Obviously, this team, the best team in the East, it comes down to executing and winning those close games. They need to stop this last 14 seconds.
Pacers are 9-8 on the road. That's third best in the NBA. They're 16-4 in the conference, which is the best in either conference. And let's check in with George Johnson.
Buck, Doug Collins says he thinks that they will be going inside to Harrington or O'Neal, but he looked at Jerry Stackhouse and he said, do not forget Reggie Miller. Obviously, if they get the rebound, they'll call a 20-second timeout. Back to you.
This is the stage of a game where the officials have a tendency to let things play. They don't like to decide the game on a whistle. Certainly, if there's an obvious foul, they'll call it. Tinsley, guarded by Jordan. Miller off a screen with a fake, the jumper, missed it at the buzzer, and we've got overtime. How many times has Reggie Miller taken that shot and made it to break the back of another team?
Did you notice how they waited to the last possible second to get the ball in his hands? Their execution was very good. A staggered pick set by Miller and Jermaine O'Neal. They get the ball. And here you see Tinsley get the ball in his hand. He has received it with about 2 or 3 seconds. Had enough time to put it on the floor one time and then release it. You can see it off just a little bit to the right. Brendan Haywood has to come out and respect that outside shot of Reggie Miller.
Reggie Miller's first shot of the quarter. It could have won the game. Instead, the Wizards go to overtime for the first time this season, while Indiana has played 3 overtime games and won all 3.
But you say you want to play and improve your record and beat some of the big boys. This is that opportunity. They've shot the ball extremely well. In some situations, they've done a good job defensively. But this team, Indiana, has so many weapons. Al Harrington, just a spectacular game.
Joins in yesterday's first quarter, located at the second level of MCI Center, 15 huge games. Large circles, 10 years on track to play games continue. You may now arrive to your seat featuring specials on
Fans, check out tomorrow's Sports Stars Today on the Washington Post High School Sports Show. Join host Chick Hernandez as he highlights the best of our region's young athletes every Sunday at noon and again at 10:30 p.m. Get in the spirit of high school sports tomorrow on Comcast Sportsnet. Well, the 3 overtime games for Indiana came at home against Milwaukee, where they beat the Bucks 103-100. At Seattle, where they won 114-111. And at Milwaukee, where they won 126-119. Michael Jordan with a season-high 37. Hughes has 23. And Stackhouse 16.
Jordan's going to need some help. They can't expect him to continue to score at the pace we saw in the fourth quarter. And there you see Al Harrington leading the way for his team, 29 points.
So they put 5 minutes up on the clock. Haywood will jump center with O'Neal. And beats the tap on the way up. And Indiana controls it.
Haywood has 5 fouls.
O'Neal fadeaway. Missed it. Overtime in Washington. Steve Buckhands, Phil Chenier, George Johnson. Our statistician Paul Evans, stage manager Kerry McKinney. Stackhouse. MJ around Harrington. Ball batted away and stolen. Turnover. Harrington fouled by Hughes.
That's going to be a tough matchup. Harrington is one of those players, though, it is difficult to match up with. At 6'8", he's extremely strong. He's quicker than most big men, but being guarded by Larry Hughes there, just trying to overpower him.
Not sure what the discussion is by Scott Wall, Bob Delaney, and Sean Corbin.
Now, I think they're going back to a play that we saw, remember, in the first half with Brendan Haywood, where he was tied up by someone.
Doug Collins is not happy with Sean Corbin. Corbin said that the Pacers should have the ball on the side, and Bob Delaney said that Harrington should be shooting. Delaney wins out as Harrington makes the first and the second. Al Harrington with a spectacular game, 31 points. Had his career high of 40 this year against Atlanta. Pacers by 2. Doug Collins screaming, move the ball. The Wizards get into trouble when they have to hold the ball. Stackhouse, 4 seconds. Lays it off. Jordan, the open jumper. Little short, tipped out of bounds. They'll give it to the Wizards. Fresh 24. Washington sets it up. Leitner inside. Fadeaway. Got it. Just the fourth point for Leitner.
Yeah, but he did a good job of establishing strong inside position on Miller.
Tied at 97. Tinsley guarded by Leitner for Miller. Tinsley's jumper way short.
I don't know if Leitner got a piece of that or Tinsley was just indecisive on his shot. That was way short.
10th rebound of the game for Michael Jordan. Inside Leitner, missed it and lost it inside. Harrington spins on Stackhouse, blocked from behind, no call.
Well, what a play from Stackhouse.
Charles Oakley for Jordan. Michael fires for Stackhouse, and Doug Collins wants time.
Time out, Washington.
Doug Collins turned 51 on July 28th. He's about to turn 58.
I was going to say. Boy, and what a critical block from Jerry Stackhouse, having to guard Harrington, who has just been on fire. Good quick spin move, but Stackhouse is able to come over the top and get that block. Boy, what a quick spin move.
And what a play by Stackhouse. Woo. This has been some basketball game. You're just joining us. The Wizards started like a house of fire. They went out to a 17-2 lead, but Indiana battled back behind the play of Al Harrington, who hasn't missed many tonight and has 31 points in the game. Harrington, 13 of 15 from the field tonight. And from there, it seesawed. Indiana built a 7-point lead. The Wizards came back to lead by 6. And it's been a 1 or 2 point game ever since then.
Yeah, even though each team has a lot of turnovers, the Pacers with 20 and Washington with 19, it's still been a hard-fought, well-played game from the standpoint that the defense has created a lot of the turnovers, and Washington has responded to the team that actually has the best record in the East.
Michael Jordan has played in 45 of a possible 50 minutes tonight. He sat out just 1 minute since the first half of action. And so for Jordan, this is a new season high in minutes. Previous was 41. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. MJ from long range. Oh, he rimmed it. Nearly got that one to fall. And timeout taken by Isaiah Thomas. Jordan has already hit 3 3-pointers tonight, matching his season high, which was against Indiana on November 26th.
I think they inbounded the ball with about 12 or 13 seconds left, so they had to get into it quickly. And this is a very good defensive team. They get their 5th in the league in scoring, but they're also one of the top defensive teams. And Jordan has to pull the trigger. You can see only 1 second on the shot clock.
That was in the cylinder, Phil, and came out. Take a look at the league standings in the Eastern Conference, as Washington right now occupying the 8th spot at 15 and 17. You see New York and Milwaukee are lurking.
Yeah, there's a lot of basketball left to be played, even between Indiana and Washington. The Orlando's, New Orleans, Philadelphia lost a bad one tonight or today, I should say, in Dallas. Boston's lost a couple of games, so anything's up for grab, but you got to start playing some good basketball.
Abe and Irene Poland have seen some game here this evening in the 17th sellout of the year in 17 games here at home. And of course, the Wizards sold out all 41 last year. With a win tonight, Washington would be 16 and 17, would make them 1 game under 500 for the first time in 2 weeks. On December 18th, they were 12 and 13. The Wiz were a season best 2 games over 500 when they were 6 and 4 in mid-November. .218 to play in overtime number 1 here in Washington. Miller back to Tinsley. They look for O'Neal, knocked away by Leitner. And O'Neal gets it back. Fadeaway jumper. Missed it. Oakley's there with Jordan. And Jordan has 11 rebounds in the game. That is a season high for Michael Jordan. So a season high in points with 37 and 11 boards. Stackhouse been very quiet. Leitner fires. Rims it. Nearly came in.
Boy, they've been a little slow in setting things up and getting into their offense to try to attack this team. I know they're playing a zone and making it difficult for them.
Miller back to Tinsley, looks into the middle. Miller from the baseline.
Well, both teams packing it inside, so whoever hits that first perimeter shot
Both teams had scored just one field goal in the overtime. Jordan going inside, kicks it out for Stackhouse. Too strong. Leitner battling and gets it, and he is held. Loose ball foul on Indiana. Great effort by Christian Leitner.
It really was. He was sandwiched by two of the Pacers. Oh, now they've changed the call, saying the foul was on Leitner.
What? First of all, he's held.
Well,
there's a push.
There's a push there.
But I don't know if that's when the call was made. Maybe the call was made there. Wow. Boy, you can't fault him for that effort. That was outstanding. Tough call.
Well, again, that matchup with Harrington, he's so strong for a big guard to try and deal with.
33 points for Harrington. Stackhouse on Miller, fade away, got it. 18 points for Stackhouse. We're tied at 99. Shot clock is off. Fans on their feet at the MCI Center. Inside near steal. Here's O'Neal. On Leitner. Fade away. No good. And we'll go to another overtime. How do you like that?
How old did you say Doug was?
Now he's 61.
But you gotta love it, though. It called for a defensive stop. They got the ball with 22 seconds, and Washington would not allow them to get their shot off. Jermaine O'Neal being the main player that they wanted to go to. Well, here's Harrington down low. Again, he's too strong for most guards. He's able to take it right in there and get the two, but Stackhouse answers that with a short jump shot of his own. Pressure play.
What a big shot. This has been some basketball game. So the Wizards in their first overtime appearance go to double overtime. And fans here getting absolutely every penny of the price of admission here tonight.
No question about it. And as a player, though, the longer you go, the more you want to win this game. You don't want to spend this kind of energy and effort and come up on the short side. So I think each team feeling more and more that this is a must-win kind of game.
Both teams scoring just 4 points in the overtime. Harrington had all 4 for Indiana. Leitner and Stackhouse had a basket each for Washington. And Michael Jordan has a season-high 37 points in 48 minutes of play tonight.
Boy, he shot the ball so well. Also did some other things like rebounding. But here, I was really impressed with that move. Baseline dunking over Jermaine O'Neal. Short jump shot over Ron Mercer. And he's just been feeling, and I saw it from the onset in the first quarter. He just had so much more spring than we usually see him have. He's still effective, but when you have that extra lift, that extra 2 or 3 inches allows you to do a lot more, and it's produced season highs for Jordan tonight.
37 points, 11 rebounds, both tops on the season. He's 8 of 10 from the free throw line, 13 of 23 from the field, and he's made 3 of 4 three-pointers. Discussing with Bob Delaney, and let's check in with George Johnson.
Well, Doug Collins talking about the fact that they need to keep fighting, keep it up. He knows they're in the second overtime. They've got to suck it up and play well. He did warn him. He said, listen, let's quit switching off Reggie Miller. Every time we switch defensively, we get caught with a mismatch with Al Harrington, and we cannot afford to let that happen. Let's see if they get through those screens, fighting through them, staying with Reggie Miller when you talk about the perimeter defense. Back to you, Steve.
Well, the last time Sean Corbin threw it up to start the overtime, it was a little low. This time it's a little higher, but Indiana controls once again. Here's Miller. O'Neal backing down Haywood, who has 5 personals. And scores. Doug Collins says, don't let that ball get to the basket, foul him. And Haywood's thinking, I've only got 1 left. Pacers by 2. Hughes is open baseline. Rims it. Miller again. He'll shoot this time and brick it.
Boom. Come back and get it, guys.
Jordan with his 12th rebound. Nice pass from Oakley, and he scores.
A dangerous pass, but once it gets through the line of defense, it leads to the easy basket.
The two former Bulls hook up on a beautiful play. Jordan has 39 in the game. Again, they go to O'Neal, guarded by Haywood. Backing him in. And a foul, and Brendan Haywood is fouled out of the game.
That's number 0, Brendan Hayes, called for his 6th personal foul.
Watch this pass from Charles Oakley. He hit a cutting bounce pass. Well, that opening was a lot larger than I initially thought it was. He was able to get that pass through there quickly.
Haywood is out. 6 points, 7 rebounds in 39 minutes. 6 personal fouls. Miller off a screen. He'll take the shot. Oakley is there for a gigantic rebound. Game tied at 101. Jordan. And he's fouled, and Michael hangs on for dear life, and Sean Corbin says it's on the pass.
Is that a flagrant?
Yeah, I believe. Well, let's see what they call. I think it is.
Jordan changes the speed. Remember we talked about the change of pace. So he catches Harrington a little bit asleep. Harrington trying to get back into the play and not allow what could have been an easy layup. Gets called for the flagrant one, and that sends Jordan to the line, and Washington will retain possession.
Michael 8 of 10. Now 9 of 11. 40 points on the game for Michael Jordan. Reggie Miller is speaking with Sean Corbin. Timeout Washington. We'll keep it right here with 3:05 to play. 103-101. 41 points for Jordan. See Mark Aguirre at the bottom of your screen, an assistant coach with the Pacers. Fans, there's no such thing as too much of a good thing. More highlights, more interviews, more features. Comcast Sportsnet gives you more of what you want starting the minute you wake up. Open your eyes to Sports Rise every weekday from 6 to 9 a.m. And now every weekend from 6 to 10. Forget the snooze button. This is the wake-up call you want. Every day is game day on Comcast Sportsnet. It has been game night here on Comcast Sportsnet this evening, as the Wizards and the Pacers have treated these fans to a magnificent basketball game. Mentioned Mark Aguirre played with Isaiah on 2 Pistons championship teams. Was acquired in mid-season in '89 from Dallas for Adrian Dantley, and the #1 pick, and the Pistons won it all that year and the next year. Indiana 23-9 on the year. That's first in the Central. They've lost only 1 at home, 14-1. They lost to the Knicks last night in New York, 98-96.
Oh, that's classic there. Jordan and Isaiah have some words. Jordan, just friendly words, I should say. I don't want to try and hit the. Oh,
an offensive foul called on Christian Laettner. Oh, man. 5 fouls on Laettner, and Just couldn't have come at a worse time. Harrington missed it all. Rebound, Miller. Knocked out of bounds. They'll give it to Indiana.
I tell you, Christian Laettner really playing with some aggression out there on the floor. Almost coming up with that steal that time. But their big men know that they have to help us, particularly when one of these guards gets switched off on Harrington. They're going to need a little help down low.
So on that last foul at the end of the court, they gave Jordan 2, but the Wizards did not get it back. Miller misses, and Laettner has the rebound with 2:35 to play in regulation. Enormous possession for Washington. Jordan baseline jumper, climbs the rim, tip no good. O'Neal is there. Went on the top of the backboard and threatened to go in. They double team O'Neal with Hughes. Now for Tinsley, Hughes is man. What was that? Traveling.
Boy, I tell you, this is what a game. Tinsley got caught up in the air, spun around, lost sight of where his teammates were. But here's the last shot by Jordan, and he wanted a foul. You can see a little bit of a forearm nudging coming from
Stackhouse for Oakley, wide open baseline, just missed it. Harrington the rebound. Reggie Miller is 0 for 3 in field goals in this overtime. His last field goal came early in the third quarter. Has 11 points in the game. Tinsley drives. Runs into Oakley, no call. Hughes has it the other way. Hughes, nice move. And he can't get the basket, but Stackhouse is there.
Boy, big rebound.
Gigantic, and Collins wants time. Do you feel your heart pounding? What a game in Washington. Wizards by 2 with 1:14 to play in double overtime.
Boy, Charles Oakley has been doing so many things that don't show up in scoring, but watch him step over on Tinsley. Could have called a charge, but either way, it forces the turnover. He sees the whole floor. You see him seal down that opening. Tinsley turns the ball over, and Washington has possession again.
The last time the Wizards were involved in a double overtime game was January 8, 2000 at Milwaukee when they lost 130 to 129. But you talk about the two quote-unquote dinosaurs. Michael Jordan has 41 points. He has all 4 Wizards points in this, the second overtime. And Reggie Miller, 3 of 9 from the field tonight, 11 points. His last field goal came early in the third quarter.
Well, you see Jordan's averages will be greatly impacted by tonight's game. 52 minutes, he averages 32 and a half, 41 points, averaging 17, and he has 12 rebounds. That's a new season high.
He sat out just 1 minute since halftime.
Well, knowing the kind of competitor that he is, there's no way any of these guys want to come out of this game.
Actually, Michael sat out a minute late in the third quarter. .114 in double OT. Jordan. One-on-one with Harrington. Michael is pushed by Harrington and fouled. Reset the shot clock to 14. 5th personal on Harrington.
Well, watch his body contact. He's trying to stay in front of him right there. Body checks it.
Underneath Laettner. And he's fouled. Great look from Larry Hughes.
Well, they took advantage of the aggressive play defensively. Watch how aggressive they are in coming out trying to challenge the ball. Here's Laettner here. Miller's going to come out with him. Oakley's coming here to get the ball, and then Leitner goes back door, but that was because they're playing so aggressively. You see the double team. Now Larry Hughes sees that Leitner's wide open underneath the basket.
First free throws of the night for Christian Leitner, who's 41 of 54 on the season. Whoa! Used all of that.
Yourself that time, didn't you?
Christian in his 27th game, 28th game, makes them both. Washington by 4.
Forcing to consume time. Forcing to consume time.
Fans on their feet. Harrington for Strickland. Oh, he hit a 3! Wizards by 1. Collins screams out the play. Wizards need a basket here. Jordan shoots it, misses, chased down by Indiana. And timeout taken by Isaiah Thomas. They can play for the final shot. They can play for the win.
Yeah, but the question is, will they? They're down by 1. Will they take the chance of holding on to the ball that long? I don't think so. I think they'll look, execute something, and try and get a good shot. In case they miss it, give themselves some time for some offensive rebound.
And one way to do that would be to go inside to try to pick up or create a foul situation with O'Neal. That stops the clock.
Well, I look to see them go at Harrington. He has had the hot hand, and he has been the player that has been so difficult for the Wizards defensively to match up with.
Well, that last series didn't turn out too well for Washington down court, missing the jump shot.
And but defensively, they came down, and Strickland hit that 3. He's been shooting the ball extremely well too. That hurt. I mean, this team is putting up some good shots, particularly from three-point range. They're 10 for 18 from three-point range. That's 56% shooting.
Team with a full timeout and a 20, and Washington with a foul to give. Let's send it over to George Johnson.
Not a lot of talking from Doug Collins. He just said, dig in, dig in. It all comes down to 1 stop and 1 rebound. 1 stop and 1 rebound. And do not give up the layup. And most importantly, if they do score, call the timeout immediately. Back to you.
So many weapons. Harrington, O'Neal inside. Strickland's been hot. And of course, Reggie Miller.
That's right.
Watch him coming off a screen. How many times has he done it? Larry Hughes is on Miller. They get it to Strickland. Guarded by Jordan. Underneath. Ball knocked away. The Wizards will get it back. How do you like that?
That was MJ that forced that turnover. Quickly pitched Harrington and forced him to mishandle that ball. Watch how quickly he drops in there. Harrington trying to cover up. The ball goes off his leg. Washington has possession.
Full court pressure on the inbound. And a timeout taken by Washington. 22nd timeout after Larry Hughes finally sprung free. We're in double overtime with the Wizards leading by 1 and 13 3/10 seconds to play in the overtime period. The shot clock is off. And now Steve Stricker telling the officials that the Wizards took a full timeout. So the Pacers will retreat and the Wizards will get the benefit of the full timeout now.
And they can choose whether to advance the ball to half court or to choose to inbound it right there.
Michael Jordan leads all scorers with 41 points and 12 rebounds, both season highs for MJ. Larry Hughes has 23. Stackhouse has 18. O'Neal leads the Pacers with 26. Correction, Harrington has 31, and O'Neal has 26. And Reggie Miller just 11.
Now for Washington, it's important, obviously, to, number one, inbound the basketball, but number two, protect the basketball, because this Indiana team, you know, they're an aggressive team. They've got to get their hands on the ball, even at the risk of committing a foul. So you want to protect the ball, knowing that eventually they will give up the foul.
And correction on Harrington. He has 33 points in the game. The Wizards will advance it to midcourt. And they can throw the ball into the backcourt if necessary.
I don't think they will, not inbounding the ball there.
Yeah, it's much farther up, obviously, than where it was. Stackhouse takes it in the backcourt and then gets fouled, so that's exactly...
That answers our question. You can.
Pretty heady play by Jerry Stackhouse.
Well, he wanted to make sure he had established himself in the backcourt.
And not gone from the front to the back. Doug Collins screaming at his team. Doug Collins in front of us, Phil, screaming to the Wizards, we have a foul to give. Very important.
Boy, looking at that play by Jerry Stackhouse again, I can't emphasize enough how quickly he thought and made the right decisions, because he was right on that half-court line.
19 for Stackhouse, 4 of 5 from the free throw line. Hughes. Timeout, Isaiah Thomas. Time for the teams and the fans to take a quick break, because this has been a heart-pounding, lose-your-breath type of basketball game. On Wednesday, January 8th at 7 o'clock, the Wizards will take on Jason Williams, Jalen Rose, and the Chicago Bulls. Tickets are available. To order yours, call 202-432-SEAT or order online at WashingtonWizards.com. Wizards are looking for their third consecutive victory after beating the Bulls in Chicago Thursday night, 107-82. And the Spurs here New Year's Eve, 105-103. What a game for the greatest player of all time. 41 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals in 53 minutes, and that includes 3 three-pointers. Let's check in with George Johnson.
Buck, before the game, Doug Collins was talking about the fact that even though his team had lost the previous 2 games to this club, this was very winnable. And he said the next 3 weeks will tell him where this club is headed in terms of how they play. They only have 2 sets of back-to-backs, and he feels that they are in a position to take advantage of a little lighter schedule. If they play well, they'll also be able to take advantage of some good practice time. But it all began tonight with a possible win over the best team in the Eastern Conference record-wise. Back over to you.
Now, the key is not to let them get off any quick shots. Who knows, they may try and get a quick layup and then allow Washington to get the ball in and foul them again. But what you want to do, obviously, is consume that time and make it difficult for them to get a free look at the basket.
Inside, knocked away beautifully by Hughes. 11 and 4/10 seconds on the game clock here in double overtime.
And it looked like that's what they were doing to try and get the quick 2.
Wizards lead by 3, 107-104.
The pressure on the ball. Don't let that ball come underneath the basket. Nothing here.
And a 20-second timeout by Isaiah Thomas. And I believe they're out of timeouts. 11 and 4/10 seconds to play. Wizards brought Tyronn Lue in for defensive purposes. And as I said, no timeouts remaining. The Wizards have a full and a 20 and the foul to give. What you don't want to do is give that foul while the guy is shooting. You have to be very careful about that.
No question about it. Yeah, they would love to run this clock down. Might be some rethinking on the part of Isaiah Thomas. They may be looking now at setting something up to go for the 3.
How quickly do you give the foul, Phil, if you do at all?
I think you try and let a couple of seconds pass if you can. You'd like to get that down to 8 or 7 seconds if you.
Miller missed it. Lou, he's pushed. No call. And he calls time. They'll call a jump ball. Doug Collins is fuming. Teron Lou was pushed when he went to get the rebound, and Doug says that is a foul. He cannot believe it.
There's the ball off the rim, and right from that point on, he gets pushed by, I believe that's Strickland. Yeah, again. Oh, man.
I saw the New York Jets game today. They didn't throw blocks that well.
Nothing behind you. That's right. You got this guy. They can't let any players get behind them.
5.1 seconds to play. Strickland jumps with Lou. They get it. Miller around Hughes for the tie. He missed it. The Wizards win it. The Wizards win. How do you like that?
Is it over?
20,178. Witness one of the most thrilling games in Wizards history. A double overtime victory over the Indiana Pacers. And let's send it over to George Johnson. George?
Mike, obviously a big game against a club that has shown that it's one of the toughest teams in the Eastern Conference. Did you come in this one saying this is one we really need to get after losing to them two previous?
Yeah, I mean, we really needed this one. I mean, we've been playing well, for the last month or so, and we just had little stretches where we really couldn't put it together. For the last 3 games, I think we've been putting it together, and we had a chance to come out and test it against, division leader right now, and, we just played well. I'm happy with the guys, the way they just finished out the ball game.
They're going to talk about the age, but you came out against this young boy, Harrington. Little smile, little jawing back and forth. What did it become a little personal late in the game?
He is a challenge. He plays me very physical. He tries to use his body a lot, which is tough for me because obviously I got to use my quickness what little bit I got and use my head a little bit, try to get into foul trouble, get some easy fouls. But it was a great challenge for us, and I think the guys answered the challenge.
They're going to always talk about every time you play a game and you play more minutes, they'll say this is a season high, this is a season high. When you play a game like this, you don't even think about the minutes, do you?
No. I've been telling Doug all the season long that I've been feeling good and that he shouldn't worry about my minutes because we have enough players on this team that I know how to get rest while I'm out there playing. I'm a veteran enough to know that. And tonight was one of those nights you just have to gut it out. We need this win. No matter what tomorrow brings us, we got to come out here and win this game.
Thanks, Mike.
All right.
Good luck the rest of the way. Let's send it back over to Bob.
What a game from Michael Jordan. 41 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals in 53 minutes as we check our Subway plays of the day. And Jordan was hustling all over the court tonight.
Here he slips on the floor. He's on his backside, but still has the presence to slide the pass over to Brendan Haywood for the easy 2. And here, a spectacular dunk over Jermaine O'Neal. He still has hops.
Wizards improved to 16-17 overall, 11-6 at home, and they win at 107-104 in double overtime.